All right, let's go ahead and get this review out of the way so that I can move on with my life. Okay, YouTube, we're going to be talking about 50 Shades Free today, and thank God this is the last one. But before we get into that, make sure you hit subscribe so you can get all of my new videos, and then also hit the notification bell so you can notify whenever I upload new videos. Okay, so 50 Shades Freed, it is the last, thank goodness, film in the 50 Shades universe. So first you have 50 Shades of Grey, then you have 50 Shades Darker, and now you have 50 Shades Freed. Is starring Jamie Dornan and Dakota Johnson. And so basically the plot to this one is that now Christian Grey and Anastasia Steele are now married, and they have this stalker issue they got to deal with, and they're also trying to figure out things in their relationship and then occasionally have sex, which is really the reason why everybody's going to see this movie, is for the sex part, because who's watching all this stuff in between, right? So off top, I have a few confessions I need to make about this. Number one is I started watching 50 Shades of Grey. I did not finish it because that movie was practically unwatchable. I did not see 50 Shades Darker because I just didn't want to do that to myself. But I did watch 50 Shades Freed because now I've started this movie review channel, and I'm putting the onus on myself to watch everything, any and everything that's coming out in theaters. And so, of course, I got to go take a look at it, let you know what I think about it. And this was just as unwatchable as the first one. So first of all, when they announced that they were casting Jamie Dornan in the role of Christian Grey, I was like, okay, I can't do this, because my exposure to Jamie Dornan is in the show The Fall. It is a BBC series starring Gillian Anderson, and in that series, he plays a serial killer. So while he is terribly handsome, he is also rather creepy, because now I've sort of had this association of him breaking into women's homes, murdering them, and then doing creepy stuff like washing them and doing their nails and their hair. So I already had like this creep factor with him going into this, and so it was a very hard transition in my brain to go from creepy serial killer to hot, rich, hot guy. So there are so many problems with this, but one of them is basically Christian Grey is just essentially a spoiled little rich kid in a man's body. And there's a lot of things that are going on with this relationship dynamic that are a little problematic, but I'm guessing that they're just marketing this to people as this is a relationship you should want, right? A lot of us struggle to make it for day to day, and they're like, yeah, you should want to be in a relationship with a rich person who can take you on all kinds of trips, get you in cars, buy you houses without talking to you about it first. And then, maybe they're a little bit jealous and controlling, but you can deal with that because they're rich. And I find that to be a problematic message to send out to people. I can't really sit here all day and talk about all the problems that are wrong with this movie and this whole franchise, and the books for that matter. So yeah, I'll have another point of disclosure. I did, when this first started to become a huge thing, I did try reading the first book. I could not get through it. I got through like chapter 2 when I'm like, I give up, because the writing in these books are so atrocious. It's just, it's bad, but the reason why it's so bad is because it is lacking any kind of depth, any kind of artistry. Just if I feel like these books and this series is something that, if you ask a 12-year-old who is just kind of discovering sex but have never had sex before, you tell them to write a book about adult relationships and sex and stuff that they have no idea about, this is what they're going to come up with. All these movies are just like big budget, softcore porn Cinemax films. And sitting in a theater watching this with other people was highly awkward. And the part with the sex scenes, and I'm like, somebody in theaters got their dick out. Because there were men and women in this movie, and I'm like, somebody is having a moment in this theater, and I really don't want to be here for that. And then speaking of those sex scenes, they really had no purpose in the film. They did nothing to help us understand more about the characters. They did nothing to serve the plot in any way. They did nothing to educate people about BDSM or any other type of sexual lifestyle or fetish or anything. Like, they literally had no purpose. I'm guessing the only purpose they really have is to give people who have really bland sex lives some ideas. So yeah, I'm really not gonna spend any more time in my life on this film. It was not good. I think I've outlined enough reasons to show that it was not a good film at all. But you know, for some reason, people like this franchise. It makes a ton of money. They come out with it, what is like every year now around Valentine's Day, and couples go see it, and it makes a ton of money. So somebody's liking it. If you are that person, please, please, please explain to me why you like this. I cannot find one good thing about this. Oh, I'm sorry. I could find, actually, hold up. Bring it back. One thing that I did like about it was the clothes. Everything that Anastasia Steele was wearing and every other woman in that movie, and then the men too, on point. Wardrobe was on point. Other than that, everything was awful. So if you really like this movie, please, or any of the movies in the series, just please, please, please explain to me why you like these movies, because aside from the wardrobe point, I can't find anything else to like about these movies. All right, so that is it for my movie review of 50 Shades Freed. I am going to skip the pun, the freed, now I'm free kind of thing. Everybody, all of your favorite YouTube reviewers have already done that, play on words, so I'm going to skip it, and I'm just going to move on so we can start talking about some other movies. Black Panther's coming out. I'm very excited about that, and I need that in my life right now because January and February have not been kind to any of us, really, and so I'm excited to see a good movie finally. So if you would like to see more of that in my review when I finally go see it this week, then make sure to subscribe to my channel. Also, make sure that you hit the notification bell so you can get all of the videos in your feed when they come up, and then also drop a comment below if you have any thoughts about this movie or this franchise. I would love to hear it. So thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.